we got? Sorry, guys.
There we go. Newest member of the UFC Hall of Fame. I mean, tell me how that sounds to you.
Yeah, that's wild. You know, I don't know if you've seen the thing when they interviewed me already, but you know, Dana FaceTimed me. I had my 4-year-old crawling underneath my chairs when I was sitting down, drinking my espresso. And she hit her head exactly at the exact time. Dana goes, listen, bro, you're going in the Hall of Fame. And then all of a sudden I hear, and I thought my kid hits her head. I go, you okay? It was so weird. It was anticlimactic because of that. But it's starting to sink in. So it's wild, man. I fought a few guys that are in there, the Hall of Fame, and some guys that are definitely going to be in there eventually. And I was always proud that I was able to, hey, man, I might not be in there, but I fought guys that are in there, and every one of them knew they were in a fight. Now, I can't say that no more because I'm in there, so that's a good thing.
Did you ever think about it along the way? You're like, man, maybe I'll get in there someday.
People ask me about, like, oh, you think you'll be in the Hall of Fame? And I always said that's not my... I never gave it much thought because it was never my decision, you know? People thought I belonged in there. But, you know, it doesn't suck. It's exciting, you know. It's good, you know. We're going to go to Vegas, have the family out there, and it'll be a nice thing.
There's so many aspects of your career to remember, and I wonder, I mean, obviously the thing people talk about when they talk about you immediately is the win over George St. Pierre. But,
yeah.
But there's more to it than that, right? Both before that and after. So, I mean, do you want people to remember or think about you for something different? Are you okay that if that's the moment they go to?
I'm totally fine with that. That was my Rocky movie. I'm a big fan of Rocky, and I felt like I lived that movie. Except Rocky 2 ended up better than my second fight with GSP. But, you know, listen, it's not always the wins that you want to even be remembered for. I mean, right at this place, at the Boardwalk Hall, I lost to Caro Parisian in 2006, or whatever it was. 2004, thank you, bro. He beat me good that one. I don't remember the date. But it was here. And, you know, in that fight, I learned a lot about myself because it was a fight where I got winded, a fight I almost won, a fight during it. I wanted to get out of there, but I never did get out of there. I never let myself quit. So stuff like that I'm proud of, you know.
Is this the proudest moment of your career, you think, getting to this pinnacle level?
You know, I'm in this, like, I haven't fought in a little bit, you know. It's my last fight was at 36, so it was a while ago, and, you know, I'm in the next chapter of my life. I had so many, like, glorious moments, but now, like, right now I'm flying high, partly because of this is amazing, but my guy, one of my students, Aljo Sterling, just fought, and he won with a unanimous decision. I'm so proud of Marab, who fought earlier, who I feel got a rough call. And 2 weeks ago, I had the honor of being in Raging Ally Quintus' corner when he fought versus the champ Khabib. So like this next chapter of my life, like I'm happy to still be a part of it and have the relationships I have with these younger fighters that are just like family to me and Longo. So it's amazing that I'm still involved and somehow still relevant. So I'm having a good time, man.
When the call came, did you have any inkling what was up? Did Dana give any hints? Or?
You know, it came out of the blue. You know, Dana FaceTimed me, and you know, he does that from time to time, just to bullshit about anything. You know, it's not weird. We're not FaceTiming every night, but he does once in a while. He'll be with our buddy Skip or somebody. He'll FaceTime me. Well, yes. So I didn't think it was anything out of the ordinary. So when he said that, it was definitely out of left field. But it was a good surprise. You know, my wife, my kids are proud, and you know, my family's proud. My students are all phones blowing up. But you know, yeah, it's a really good moment, and I'm really happy for Aljo tonight. You know what I mean? So it's great. It's good.
What's next? You gonna try your hand at stand-up? I know Norton got you on stage once. So you're gonna give that a go?
Stand-up? I'm a jiu-jitsu guy. Is this thing? Fuck it. They can't all be gems, guys. I just... no, I'm not. Listen, people in the next chapters of their lives, after fighting, the fighting is always such a rush, and it's so glorious, it's hard to follow up after that. And a lot of guys have a hard time. I'm very fortunate. I do the UFC official podcast with Jimmy Norton, who's becoming a very good friend of mine, and we have such a good time with that. I do the show with Dana looking for a fight. And you see here with me and my guys, and me and myself with Ray Longo and my team, I might have 3 different jobs. My school's at home, but I'm whistling to work every day. So there's nothing else I'd rather be doing. Between that and my family, I don't know what else I could ask for. Maybe some pizza and shit, but I gotta start getting off that.
Speaking of your guys, how cool is it now? Finally, the UFC is in New York. The UFC's back in Atlantic City. Obviously saves on the travel for you, but it's pretty cool, right?
No, it's very cool with all these. Like again, a couple weeks ago we were in Brooklyn for the Barclays Center. I drove home the same night. Right now we're a few hours away from Long Island, out here in AC. It's my daughter Maria's birthday today. I want to give her a shout out. She's 7, and literally, my 2 daughters had solo dance. They had dance competition yesterday in Long Island. I was able to make both if this was anywhere else, I can't do this. So I was able to make both their dance competitions. They killed it, Serra style. And then I got here midnight last night. So it's good. It's really nice to be able to have the MMA here, both in New York and New Jersey and whatnot. It's great, man.
Matt, I know we're here to celebrate you, but I did want to ask you about Merab. What do you think happened? It was so tough for everybody to figure out. Did he go out? Did he not go out?
No, he hit his head when he got taken down, so he said he was a little out of it. But he said he wasn't out, and he said they said for him not to move when it was over, so he stayed there. I mean, I want to keep this a happy moment. I really, truly, I don't know if you saw his Frankie Size fight, where he took the guy down 11 times, and he had the flu that night. So, I mean, he just got over the flu. So it's like, I truly believe that Merab should be 2-0 in here. I've had close decisions that I never argued, where I fought guys bell to bell, where it could have went. I think Merab is a ferocious fighter, and I just can't wait. He was like he was in Disneyland all week, this kid. So happy, just giddy to be here. And there's certain guys, it's a rarity to find guys that are just true fighters like that. Raging Al's one of those guys. Merab is another guy who's just a ferocious fighter. Love him to death. He's a good person, great fighter. I truly believe he should be 2-0 right now in the UFC.
Were you worried about him in the hole? Because, I mean, his face was getting kind of...
I was, and a lot of times when it looks like the head is about to pop out is when it goes on the tightest. So I was really, but I seen his hands. So I'm like, is he looking to tap? Is it quiet? Because if it's done, it's done. No, I don't know if he gave a thumbs up, but he was definitely, I see him moving his legs. He said his head was a little hurt he hit his head on the takedown. I got to see the tape. So he said, I kept shaking my legs. I kept shaking, moving. And to have a fight like that, and that kid he fought was very tough. 21-1 or something, or whatever it was. And I thought Merab was stalking him like a tiger in there. I mean, I thought he did phenomenal. It's rough. It's just rough to see a guy. Listen, this game's a heartbreaker, but we're not going to let it keep. Poor Longo might be on top of the fucking boardwalk hall jumping. We got to make sure he's okay. But Aljo came back with that victory. Merab can keep his head up high. Ally Aquinta's a stud. I can't wait for Weidman to come back. This is exciting times.
You think Aljo's going to get that look against Cruz? He called him out of the ring.
Aljo is literally might be the most talented guy we have. I mean, he is extremely talented. It's all about his belief in himself and doing this and just pulling that trigger. And you see in his fights where you see changes between round to round with him just letting loose more and more. He does stuff in sparring where you think he's Spider-Man. I mean, well, believe me, the best is yet to come with Aljo Sterling.
Thanks, Matt.
Thanks, guys. We made it.